we're turning up today, on this beautiful day, hopefully to support our little initiative that we've just started here. To be honest, I was not fully prepared to say what I wanted to say, just because we are all very overwhelmed with the amount of support that we have received here. What we gathered here today for is a very special little block of land just to the right of me, 79 Balcombe Road. And today I want to make sure that we are focusing specifically on this block of land. We take away the rest of the context. It is about this special little place that is to make or break our community, in our opinion. Today we have in our support the Friends of the Heritage, Gardens and the old train station with us. They fought for many, many years to look after our gardens and making sure that they've been preserved. That this old train station stays here as a commemoration of thousands and thousands of people's journeys every day, commuting to work and back, and also the beauty of these gardens that we have today and enjoy today. We want to ensure that the character of our community is being preserved, that this land becomes part of the absolute vital part of our community, the open space, that it is preserved for generations to come. We are very well aware that Mentone will eventually become quite a high-rise, high-density community. And we want to ensure that that community is being supported by enough and high-quality public space in our community so that our children and ourselves can enjoy the green space that we are so short of, or becoming so short of. So I hope that this development that's being proposed here, a 6-story high building, which is probably not very vital to be built here in such small parcel of land, we really hope that we are able to preserve it for our generation and ensure that the builds in the area are high quality and that we're still supported by enough green space. So thank you very much. I would like to just mention that we have a lot of honourable people in our community. First of all, we've got Dorothy Booth, the one that stood up for the old train station for the green public space. I'll pass it on to you. I would love Dorothy to have a word because she's such a fighter. She's such an inspiration to all of us. Please have a seat. Thank you.
Well, it seems a bit incongruous, doesn't it, really? Come November this year, it will be 23 years since we were doing exactly the same thing as you're doing now. Assembling in those station gardens to prevent a bus interchange. 23 years. Is it deja vu? What is it? Do they listen to us or do they not?
No.
What's being proposed here on this triangle is tantamount, and you can, when you're doing your objections, say this to them. It's tantamount of them trying to build a 12-storey apartment building in the Fitzroy Gardens adjacent to the Parliament houses. What's different? Do they value their own state heritage listed site? I wonder. Ask the question. The trouble was taken to register this very special precinct, as Katya has rightly said, for future generations. It's not about me. It's not about the friends of Mentone Station and Gardens who have been working here all that time. It's not about any of us. It's about future. And it's about the love of our history Thank you. It's about the love of our history for generations to come. We're a very precious suburb, Mentone. We've got Kilbreda with a state heritage listed site. We've got the hotel, Mentone Hotel, state heritage listed. We've got the station gardens, all in this very precious little space. And it is precious, and it does need to be fought for. And I can tell you, I have never been so delighted when Katya and Nikos reached out to us. It was manna from heaven, because I can't do it anymore. I'm too old. Gone are the days. This is what we need, the younger generation stepping up. And listen to those names. This is what gives me such great heart about this country, about where we live and who we share with. Katya and Nikos. Not Dorothy, not Joan, not David. Isn't that wonderful? I can't get over it. And they love it like we do. Thank you. Thank you. Keep up the good work and tell them we're not going to have this happen here.
I must say, we thank you, Dorothy. You're giving us all this courage to continue, and to have you in our support is a very big thing. Thank you. I would like to give the mic to another supporter which has first jumped in and has already pointed out what the big problem is here. And this is Brad, who I would like to hear his view and what's from this side of our community, the politician side.
Thank you very much, Nikos. Good morning. I feel like I'm in good company this morning because I've seen a gentleman with a Hawks beanie on. We'll see you in September, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brad Rossdale. I'm your local state member of Parliament. I think that today it's important to acknowledge a couple of things. Firstly, that today is not a protest or a community gathering just to say that we don't want something in our community. Today is a community gathering. Today is perhaps a protest where we say, this is what we want our community to be. This is what we value in our community. This is what we love about our community, and that's what we want, not just for this generation, but for the next generation. And I want everyone gathered here today to know that I stand with you on that journey. I stand with you on that path. I was born in this area, well, this year, 40 years ago at Sandringham Hospital. If you want to live in high-rise apartments, you're very welcome to do so in Fitzroy, in Richmond, in Brunswick, in different parts of our state, in different parts of our city. That is well and truly your choice, and I don't begrudge you for wanting to do that. There's a lifestyle that goes with that. But people in this community have chosen to live in this part of the world because we value our community the way it is. Now, there's a very legitimate argument that housing is unaffordable at the minute and getting more unaffordable. But it's an absolute lie. Let me be frank, it's a lie to say we need to be developing more and more apartments to make housing more affordable. In fact, at the minute, it's more expensive to develop an apartment than it is to develop a townhouse or a family home. So don't believe the lie. Don't believe the lie that it's cheaper to develop an apartment than it is to develop a townhouse or a family home, because that's simply not true. And the most regrettable part about that is the people who pay the price of that higher cost of housing inevitably are people who are at the bottom of the pile, who are the most vulnerable in our community, and I think we should be doing better for them than we are at the minute. I say to you that in November 2026 next year, there's an opportunity to say no to this. I stand with you between now and then. I stand with you between now and then to stop this development from progressing, to reinstate the community consultation that should have been there in the first place but clearly hasn't been. Should my side of politics be elected in November 2026, I'll speak frankly, this will not proceed. This will not proceed. My commitment to you today is to say, I will work with you. I will work with the community. I will work with the council to get a better outcome here. That's the best thing for our community, and I stand on your side. I'd also like to acknowledge Councillor Chris Hill from Kingston Council, who's here, Dorothy Booth, quite literally Dorothy, your decades of work, and Nikos and Katya and others who have just pulled out all stops in the last 10 days to stand up for a community that we all love. Friends, I'll leave with this. Today is not just about protest and about saying no. It's about saying a big, fat yes to who we are and what we value and what we think we should protect it. And I stand alongside you in doing just that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brad. That gives us a lot of strength to continue. And yes, we have also here representatives from the council. And I would like to ask Chris to come in and give us his view of what's the future for us.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I just want to say, firstly and foremost, thank you to Katya, Nikos, and everyone from the group for all the work that they've done already. Quite a few years ago now, I was part of another local group called Save the Edgy, and we worked really hard to get a good outcome at the pub. It's unfortunately still going on and might be going on for some months yet, but really it's all about strength of community and standing up for what's important to the community. So I really take my hat off to the group for all the work they've done so far, and to everybody for turning up today too, because at the end of the day these struggles are never easy, and many hands make light work, as they say. So thanks to everybody for turning up, and hopefully this is just the start, not the end, because these things can often go on for quite some time, and it really helps to have as many hands helping out. I know that from experience. I also too want to acknowledge Dorothy and all the friends of Mentone Station's garden group. Like, quite honestly, we actually wouldn't be here fighting for this without the work that Dorothy and her group did a couple of decades ago, and it's been ongoing for all that time as well. The very reason we've still got the station and the gardens to enjoy is very much as a result of all the work that they've done over all the years. So I really want to recognise that, because she's, and her group I should say, have been champions for this local area for a long, long time. I also want to acknowledge, and I'll ask him to come up and speak in a little while too, our General Manager of Planning in Place, Jonathan. I think it's great that he's taken time out of no doubt a busy weekend to be here with you all, and he'll be able to also just be able to, I guess, answer more so the technical questions that I'm sure some of you probably have as well. And too, I just wanted to acknowledge Brad for being here. A busy family man, but he's taken time out of his day to be here with us all also. Just to reassure you, this patch of land next to us is something that I've been advocating, and I think we as a councillor group have been advocating for a good couple of years now. We feel it's potentially part of a land swap as part of the SRL work that's going on at Sir William Fry Reserve. I believe that we're losing something like a third of the open space there. So it's something that we've been really strongly advocating for, to try and enhance what we already have here. And that's something we'll continue to do, but we've been doing that to some degree on our own. So it's really actually a positive thing to have the support of the community and help us to continue to push that, which is what I'm sure we'll keep on doing. Obviously I can't speak for all my fellow councillors, but I believe there will be strong support for it. So thanks again everybody for being here, and I'll leave you to the rest of the afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. The next stage of this meeting is to ask to see what you have to ask, or whether somebody wants to get some opinion. Can you come please? Jonathan, do you want to? Okay. Before we get there, let's ask Jonathan to come and say some words about the technical stuff then. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikos, and welcome everyone to Mentone. I would too just like to acknowledge Mr. Rao as well, who's been a really significant local member for some time now for this area. So thank Brett for coming down, and also Councillor Hill, who has been re-elected and is really passionate about his local suburb, Mentone. And Dorothy, who I've known for a really long time, who is a big part of why we are able to stand here today. Just maybe for some of you, just for some contextual information, the bridge that you're all standing on was only able to come about because of the council working with the state government. I think originally this was going to be a trench like on the other side of the wall, and through support of Dorothy and Chris and our former councillors, we were able to actually encourage the government to build the land like you see it now and really link the station gardens across. The other thing that we're particularly excited about, and again through the support of Councillor Hill and Brad and others, very soon these amazing station buildings that were preserved as part of the project will actually be transformed, and there'll be a cafe and I think of like a wine bar, that's a bar introduced in there that will provide fantastic opportunity to better use this space. That's only really been possible through collaboration across with the community, but we're also delighted because it will make the space feel a lot safer. On days like today, it'll be a wonderful place for people to come and enjoy of all ages. So we're excited about that. We were beginning thinking about this land when the level crossing removal project started. We were really aware that by trenching under here, there was going to be a lot of change to Mentone. Initially the station was going to be further up, but we fought very hard to keep the station gardens and the buildings, and obviously the station's further away. We did a lot of work at that end of Mentone, but up at this end of Mentone we did some urban design work, which is kind of, I'm a town planner by background, but we did some work to think about how these spaces should work. And one of the things that was really important to the community at the time was the ability on Swanson Street to be able to see the Kilbreda Tower. Some of the people who spoke earlier today have said just how important the heritage is in this part of our city of Kingston. It is one of the areas, even the Rock Ebony building across the road, it is one of the areas where we have a lot of heritage places. So the way this area is handled is particularly important to us. We have, as Councillor Hill said, been really keen to try and connect the open space across this corridor. It is the new gateway to Mentone. I think those of you who've lived here a while will remember too, there were old billboards up here, so you couldn't see the shops, you didn't know you were coming into the shopping centre. All of this has been a very deliberate partnership to really make this area feel a lot safer, but also be a lot more attractive. As for the detail of the process that we're now involved in, we're obviously local council, but the Victorian government have the land over here and 3 other parcels in Cheltenham where there is currently a zone on the land that doesn't allow them to be developed. Many of you will remember this was car parking in years gone by. The Cheltenham sites, 2 of which are over the railway line on concrete like this, where we do think there is opportunity for some development, and that's why they put some concrete over the railway line, and one of them is very close to the railway line. The government are exhibiting what's called a planning scheme amendment, and the submissions, I have to stress, close I think next week on the 25th. Thank you, Dorothy, on the 25th. And you need to get your comments in by then. But the government will then review the submissions that different people make. What they will then do is consider whether or not the land should be rezoned, and if it's rezoned, under what parameters. Our council's very keen and generally does make submissions to these kind of planning initiatives. So we've asked the government for a minor extension to be able to make a more detailed submission. That will look at all sorts of things from traffic, because obviously access, you can hear the cars, it's a busy part of Mentone. Open space needs for the area, the way it might shadow, like this is a very good time of day to get a sense of the extent of shadow. If you just look at some of the larger structures around, if we're going to invest heavily, which we are, in the spaces here, we really want this to be a space where the sun is able to come through, so we'll be looking closely at that as well. I really do stress the importance of the submissions. The government will hopefully listen to the feedback that it gets from the members of the community. There are parts of our city where there isn't as much open space as others, and this part of Mentone over here is one of those areas that historically has struggled in terms of having open space for local communities. So there is a bit of a planning piece for that as well. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today, and if there are questions of a technical nature that I can help with, I'm certainly happy to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. That was very